have you faced any domestic violence?
Yes, I faced domestic violence. At the initial years, it was just slapping, abusive language, and that kind of thing. I won't say that was a kind of mental harassment, and slowly it turned out to be a physical one. And at one point of time, I remember my daughter was 2 years old, and I was completely bleeding. I was completely full of blood, and he hit me so hard. Um, I didn't know what to do. I left my house, and I didn't. I did file a case against him. Then somehow, I withdrew. I wanted to work out on the marriage once again. Since my daughter was very young, I wanted that she should not be away from her father and all that stuff, because she was in the middle of us. So I wanted it, but then it didn't work out on that, and it didn't stop. Maybe it was not to that extent anymore, but then there were small hits here and there, and it was not one-sided anymore. We used to fight on things. So yeah, I would say yes, I was prone to domestic violence.
There are a lot of people in India, they are facing domestic violence, right?
Yes.
And most of them prefer to stay silent instead of speaking. So, like, what's your say on that?
Well, most of them prefer to stay silent. There are a number of reasons. You can't, it's easy to sit here and tell that, they could have done this, they could have done that. You could have asked a question of, why can't they leave and go and all that stuff. But then, if you are actually in their shoes, the people who are actually facing or victims of domestic violence, you will realize that, why. Some of them are unable to leave because of financial independence. They have to be financially dependent on their husband. Another reason could be, the families are so very rigid, orthodox, that they don't actually support their daughter. All right. There is a saying that we often say that, it is better to have a divorced daughter than to have a dead daughter. So I believe, families should be a little bit, liberal in their thoughts that, your daughter is more important than your society. So in that case, the families don't support. So the girl has to be there, and the in-laws are also, subjected to that kind of a relationship where they support their husband. But I will not say that, because I was fortunate enough to have in-laws who were supportive towards me. We tried to figure out problems and figure out the problem with my husband, and make him understand what was going wrong between us. And in that case, my parents, my in-laws, were quite supportive. The problem regarding was my husband. But on the other hand, when other people speak about this domestic violence, there are multiple reasons. But I feel, if every woman stands for their right, they talk about it, that, they don't take it up. I'm not saying they're leaving anything or they're going away, but then they stop. They have that, every woman has that strength to stop something which is against them. I believe every woman is that empowering, and not empowering, rather, I will say that powerful. All right. So I think, women are powerful and they are strong enough, because if they are not strong enough, they are not able to take the care of the household. Even the homemakers, I believe the homemakers are one of the strongest women on earth, because they just don't do one work, they're doing multiple jobs, and they're doing it pretty well. Pretty well. Whole day they are doing it without complaint, without any kind of pain, without any kind of, payments. So I believe, women are very strong. So if they just take a stand for themselves, um, that could make certain changes in the society.
So, on that note, you want to say that every woman should be independent?
Yes, every woman should be financially independent. I understood that a little later, though I was financially independent at the time of my marriage. But yes, money is very important. Money is sweeter than honey, darling. You have to believe that, everything depends on money. Money makes the world spin. So money is absolutely important. You can't say, everything will follow. You have money, you'll get lovers. You have money, you can, hire parents also. If you have money, you can get children also. So I guess money is the base of relationship, lifestyle, whatever you want. So you can't say that no, money is no. you need love, you need a family, you need bonding. Come on. Independence, not only in financial sector, but also, you should be emotionally independent. You should be independent enough to take your own decisions. You should be independent enough to put forward your opinions, speak up your mind. And, you should be independent in your thoughts, actions, and finances.
Okay. So from which profession you belong to? Like,
Basically, I'm a teacher. I belong to the education sector.
Mhm.
Even though people call teacher as a very noble profession, I don't know how noble it is. Yeah, you say it is noble. I'm not denying the fact it's not noble, but how noble it is, that's a question now. So yeah, I belong to the education sector, and I teach children from an age group of 7 to 12 years, and yeah, that's all I would like to say.
What are the challenges as a teacher?
Well, as a teacher, there are a lot of challenges that we face. Not only to make them explain or get it understand, but a lot of things. I'll give you an example. Last day what happened, not last day, a few days ago what happened, I explained a certain thing to a child, and the child didn't understand. I could understand by the face, that she didn't understand anything. And the other teachers also told me that she doesn't understand much, she doesn't respond anything. So I looked at her and I asked her that you've been given a project, so will you be able to do it? So she said yes. I said, so what's the project about? She said, I don't know, I didn't understand. So I said, if you didn't understand, we'll put up in we'll give it to you in the diary and we'll explain it to you once again. So it's fine with you? Then I again re-explained it. And then I said, that who's going to help you out in doing the project? She said that I'll do it myself. I said, then did you understand the project this time? She said, no. And I said, then how are you going to do the project? She said, I'll do it in the summer vacation. She didn't understand the question that I was asking her, basically. So in that case, she kept on saying, yes, I'll do it in the summer vacation. I'll do it on my own. I'll do it this, that. And finally, the children looked at my face and they realized that ma'am got pissed off with that, and they could not laugh aloud, because it's a child not understanding is fine. But then again, I had to deal with that kind of a person also. You have a lot of people who are very quick at understanding. On the other hand, there are people who doesn't seem to understand at all. you know that becomes kind of a challenge for them to explain. And then I say, you have to do this, you do this, you do part by part and bring, I'll tell you the rest what is to be done. And they say, okay.
So are you a Hitler teacher or a friendly teacher?
um well, I'm a mix of both. You need to be Hitler as well as you need to be Kapil Sharma whenever required. So classroom requires both of them. When the principal is on around, if you're Kapil Sharma and the class is laughing loud, ha ha ha, that becomes a problem. So you need to maintain, when you're teaching as a teacher, you need to maintain decorum in the class, and you need to be good. You need to be strict enough so that they listen to you, because the main motive is they're coming to acquire knowledge. So that's important when to be a Hitler teacher at times. No harm in that, provided you don't harm them. And then on the other hand, you need to understand they're a very crucial age group, 7 to 12, not exactly very small kids, not exactly grown up. So in a middle aged, not even adolescent also. Adolescent people are a little, aggressive. They're small kind of children, very humble, loving, caring. So they need to be dealt with both. They need to be scolded for their wrongs, and they need to be loved for their and appreciated for their good. So I guess I'm a mixture of both, and as and when required, I deal with them. And over the years, I've been doing that, and it feels great to see your children, remembering you, remembering your classes. I remember one of my child told me, one of the children told me, ma'am, we still remember your English classes, your literature classes. So even after 7, 8 years, 10 years, when they come up and tell you that they love your classes, they loved your classes, or they love being a part of your classes, it as a teacher, it feels like I've accomplished a certain part of my job.
Okay, so one of the memorable thing or incident that happened in your life, in school life, in a profession,
As a teacher.
as a teacher.
All right. So, talking about one of my memorable events, there are multiple memorable events, and it's have been a very roller coaster kind of a ride. The journey. I've been in this profession for the past 12 years, and it's been a small incidents where here and there, people, younger children, they were young at one point of time. Now they've become grown ups. They've come up with, and they whenever they see you, they wish you, they introduce you as your teacher to others. That's something great. You feel happy about it. And to be saying memorable, the last year, 2020, um, so it's 23 right now, 22. Uh, I was a house mistress. I got the house mistressship last year in the month of November when the sports just started off. And to my surprise, my housemaster resigned. He said, he had some medical issues and he wanted to resign. And so I was given the duty, or rather the responsibility of being a house mistress. And up till class 9, it was the senior sports. The juniors, I was dealing with them, it's fine. But the seniors, what happened, this school, since I joined since 5 years, I was not much acquainted with the children. Okay, so I didn't know them, especially the group of 9, 10, 11, 12. 9, some of them I knew partly. 10, 11, 12, rather, I would say, because that's a lot I haven't taught at all. And those children, they are very difficult to deal also. That's the adolescent period also. And the very first day I was introduced to them, they looked at me and I looked at them. None of us knowing what to talk, how to proceed. And I just met them and I returned. And when I returned, everybody was so happy, you have been chosen, this, that. My friends were rejoicing, my colleagues. But I somewhere was afraid, though I didn't put it on the face, but I was afraid to, how to deal with them. And in our school, we have this evening games. So somehow I didn't know where to start from in order to talk to them, in order to, create that bond, because we have to work together. And that's the senior most section. So I started moving further, these evening games. I started attending their evening games along with them. And slowly I developed a bond. I started chatting with them, talking with them, sharing, my outputs, inputs, and everything, how to do well, what they can do, what they have done earlier, and how we have, as a team, we can work. And slowly we developed a very strong bond, I would rather say. And yes, I guess my children didn't win. We didn't win, rather. But yes, we had an absolute great time working together as a team and learning a lot of things, And at the end of the sports, children came up and said, ma'am, we are very happy as a teacher. You have inspired us, motivated us. Even if we have lost, we are not crying. We are still laughing. And I was pretty happy about that. I could instill in my children the sportsman spirit that, end is not, I mean, defeat is not the end. It's a beginning that you get an experience. You learn something from it, that these were the wrong things. So what should I do in order to succeed? So these are not the ways that are going to work out. It's the other ways that we're going to work out. So yes, that's been one of my memorable moments when, the children came up with the smiling faces at the end of the day. And we had a photo shoot, we had laughter, we burst into laughing. And I remember other children coming up from other houses and, ma'am, can we have a picture with you? So that made me feel very happy. I was ecstatic at that point of time. It's lovely. It was a lovely experience. So one of the best experiences of my life till date.
So, apart from that, you're a single mother.
Yes.
So, like, at first, I just want to ask you, like, how is motherhood?
Motherhood is a good experience, I would say. It's a new experience. When I was initially a mother, uh, I learned a lot of things. I grew with the child. As a mother, when a child grows, a mother also grows. So I had to nurture my abilities. I have become a little more patient, and it's been a roller coaster ride. You have your different kind of emotions at different point of time. The outbreaks are sudden, and at times you don't understand how to deal with things. Because since my daughter is still very young, she doesn't have those tantrums and such. But still, it's been good. as motherhood, I would say, on a scale of 10, I would rate myself as 7.5. So it's been good. Still, that 2.5 is yet to achieve. So yeah, it's been good. Motherhood, so far, it's been good.
Okay. So in motherhood, what you cherish the most?
Um, as a mother, I would cherish, those little moments that we shared together. At the end of the day, when you see her smiling and you see her happy, that you've accomplished something as a mother, or you've been able to give your daughter that happiness at the end of the day. So, being a mother, yes, the little success that she gets, she won her Olympiad, English Olympiad. She came out fourth in her entire school. All right. And so that was something. She got a gold medal and she came jumping and she said, I won a gold medal in English as an English teacher. So it makes me feel proud that, I could instill in her that at least, I'm not saying the other subject she's not doing good. She's doing definitely very well in the other subject, such good. But then that particular subject which I am teaching, she's flourishing in that. So as a mother, I think I am able to imbibe in her the qualities that I want, and she's doing pretty well. So yes, that is one of the memories